Hey everyone, in today's video I'm gonna make a drawing for myself and I'm gonna do that with Indian ink. I'm not that good with Indian ink and the brush, and that is okay. I just want to do something that I enjoy. The reason because I want to make a drawing for myself and want to not care about if it looks good or not. My account has been growing really fast and I am very grateful for that. But with a larger account, it's kind of inevitable that you also get some comments that are not so kind or are a bit, well, I'm not sure how to put it, a bit unfriendly or negative comments. I know I just should not let that get to me. I just should let that slide. But it does get to me. And I was feeling a bit bummed out because of it, because the comments that I get is from, and I'm not talking about the comments that are just trolls that are bullying, but I got comments from other artists who are frustrated with my growth on social media, because and I know there are so many artists that are way better than me, but their accounts, they remain on like 1,000 followers, and I can understand that it's frustrating. I can understand that when you post your art every day and you don't get the views that you hope you get, that you become frustrated. But I had some of these people who are angry at me because I did get the growth and I did get the views and the followers. Well, I'm not as good of an artist as they are, or at least that is how they perceive my art. And like I said, I never said that I'm a good artist. I'm not saying I'm the best artist. And there are so many people who are way better at art than me. But going into someone else's comment section, calling them out for having more views than you, while they don't deserve it because your art is way better, that's not very friendly. And if you're wondering why your art account is not growing, and mine is, and I think you kind of give yourself your own answer there. Yeah, I'm not sure how to put it anyway. But just like I said, it's going to be a little bit different video because I'm also doing something that, like this inking, I find this very difficult, but I also find it very soothing because I'm not very good with the brush. But today I'm just going to make a mess. I'm going to rant, and I'm not sure if I'm going to make this into a video at all. And if I do, well, then you can hear me rant and make a mess of a boyfriend at the same time. But yeah, so there are artists who are upset with me. And like I said, I do get where you're coming from. I do understand that it is really frustrating when you don't get the views you deserve. But dimming someone else's lights does not make yours shine brighter. And that is something that you really need to keep in mind when you see something who you think does not deserve the views. And also something, when you see another artist have success on social media, that does not mean that you won't get a chance anymore. It's not like there is one pie and when I get a piece, your piece will be smaller. It doesn't work that way. And maybe I'm not the best artist out there. And I'm not saying that I'm the best at social media either, but I do know how to play that game. Social media is kind of my special interest next to art. So I find it fun to make the reels. I find it fun to make videos and engage with people and connect with people through social media. But instead of calling me out on having a growth that I do not deserve, in your opinion, you could have also reached out to me and say like, hey, I think my art is good enough, but I struggle growing. Do you have some tips or advice? Because I would be very happy to make a video about how to grow on Instagram, for example. I'm saying Instagram because that's where I'm the most successful. But also, if you feel like, in your opinion, that I'm a bad artist, you can have that opinion. And I don't mind. But for me, I never said I was a good artist. I never said I'm better than anyone because, like I said, I know there are so many people way better than me. But for me, I'm documenting a journey because for a couple of years back, it kind of was my dream to become a fantasy artist, drawing fantasy-themed art. And I share what I learn on the way. So if I learn anatomy from animals and how I use that in my creatures, I will share that or make a video of it. Because when I was just showing my art, I got so many questions from people like, how do you draw that? And when people ask me, how do you make it? Who am I to gatekeep? Because if you like my style, if you like my creatures, like my wyverns, like my dragons, and you want to draw them too, I feel honored. And I would love to share with you how I draw them. And that is why I make tutorials. And that is why I make those little guides that I post on Instagram on how I made my drawings. And over the years, my tutorials changed because I learn as well. And I keep on learning. So, yeah, maybe for advanced artists, my content isn't good. But for some beginner artists, it is. And it's also my style that you may or may not like. And that is okay. I mean, you don't have to like it. But like I said, I recently got comments and I even got some personal messages from people who just say like that they are way better artists than me and that they don't understand why I get the views and they don't. So yeah. As you can see, my lines are a bit wiggly. And that is something that I also always struggle with. It's something that I practice a lot as well. And with the digital art and with the pens, it's getting a lot better. But with the brush, I just don't use the brush often enough to kind of tackle that. Because I really want to have a more steady hand. And I don't want this to be like a very negative video. And to those people like who leave comments like that, I don't really see it as haters, because I have many people saying like, don't listen to the haters. I don't really see that way. It's more like, because I do understand the frustration and I do see it as well. And it's not like just towards me, but also when I open threads, it's so many artists complaining about algorithms not being friendly towards artists and things like that. But if your content is not being seen and you're frustrated about that, you have to keep in mind that if you're gonna complain online about not getting views, not getting enough followers, you are complaining towards your most loyal fans. You are complaining towards the people who are there for you, and that is why they see all of your content. It's because they love you. They love your work. They are the people who root for you. And when you complain, you have to be aware that you're complaining to the ones that are there. And I think that the frustration of social media and artists is something that causes this division. It's like artists going at each other's throats, and I think it's a shame if you let that happen, because I also heard the argument like artists are your competition, and that you do not want your content to be pushed out towards other artists, but to people who love art but aren't artists themselves. And there are probably some people who love your art and aren't artists themselves, but from my experience, and I can say that from experience of an Instagram account with more than 100,000 followers, most people who support me are other artists. And they are the ones who buy my art, they are the ones who buy my merch, and are the ones on my Patreon. And if I look at my own behavior on social media, I am an artist, and I follow mostly other artists. And I also buy art from other artists. I buy art books. I kind of collect art books. With how you can probably guess what kind of art books I collect, but it's all fantasy themes. And I just love that. I cherish that. So if you want to monetize your art, you cannot really rule out other artists. And that's just my opinion, but it's also what I see happening in my Instagram account, which is quite large. So you should see it as if you're able to inspire other artists, that would do your account very good. But I also understand, like, if you are an artist and you just want to sell your art and feel like because of that you are kind of forced into the social media game. Yeah, I get that must be tough. Because like I said, social media is kind of a special interest for me. I'm having fun with that. I really like that, the way it connects people. But if that's not your thing and you're doing that because that's the only way for you to reach people who are potential clients for you. That's a struggle. I get it. But you must be aware that if you are doing social media only because you want to sell your art and you kind of hate social media for it, why would anyone follow you if they do not feel appreciated? Because when you're on there complaining about social media to the people who follow you on social media, people won't feel appreciated. And I believe you have to truly connect with your audience. You have to really appreciate the people there, not just faking it. You have to really feel it. If you're not enjoying social media, but still want to grow an account, you better start figuring out ways to learn how to enjoy it. Because if you're not having fun on it, if you are not genuinely interested in your audience on social media, people will notice that. But I love to hear your opinions on this, and if you want me to make a video on how to grow on Instagram as an artist, it will probably work for other social media platforms too. I'd be happy to make that. But I think one of the most important things is be genuine, be real. And if you really don't like being on social media, then you would need to find other ways. That may sound a little bit harsh, but like you can't really expect people to cheer you on if you're not happy with those people. Yeah, like I said, it's not. I don't mean to complain or something. It's not. I don't want this like to be too negative, because most comments I get are from really nice people. But I just wanted to address the frustration that I know recently I replied to a comment from someone who said I draw better than you, and they made a grammar mistake in their comment. So I just corrected that grammar. And normally I honestly don't care if you make a grammar mistake, but if you're gonna call me out on, or just here in the comments telling me that you are better than me. Okay, maybe you are a better artist than me, but you don't need to be like that. And so I did call them out on the grammar. And there were some people who kind of found it disappointing that I would call them out. And maybe that's not the best way to handle that either, but like I said, I know there are artists better than me, and for me it's not about being the best. For me is I'm having fun being on this journey. But in all honesty, and I don't mean to sound arrogant, I may not be considered a good artist by some, but there are many people who do like my art, and I have seen that I have improved over the years because I draw for many years now. And a couple of years back, I wasn't able to draw a proper dragon. That's why I started the sketchbooks with the dragons in the first place. And drawing so many of them really helped me improve. So, maybe I know there are many better artists than me, but I did improve over the last couple of years. So, I guess there's hope for me. But I don't consider my that bad of an artist either. I used to be. But I practice a lot. So. And I believe that it's something, art is something that everyone can learn. Everybody can learn to draw. It just requires dedication. And like I said, it's a journey. And I know, for example, if I was, I'm not that good at drawing with Indian ink with the brush. But that's mostly because I don't do it often. If I would do this every day, I would be good at it real fast. But I'm not working with Indian ink every day. And if you're still here at this point in the video, you better give it a thumbs up, because that's some dedication, or you have fallen asleep. In that case, I hope you have a very pleasant sleep with some really good dreams. I must admit that it does feel good to rant about something. And I really do feel like this drawing is bringing back my excitement. Sometimes we just need to make something we're not that good at, just to make a mess, just to have some fun, rant a little, and then we're going to back into our art. And I really feel like if I would turn this into a video, it's not really a story, it's like me rambling and ranting. So I apologize if you're a bit annoyed by this one, but it is one that I needed to make. Well, that's it for the first part of inking this drawing. I'm gonna let it dry for a little bit, and then I'm going to start going in with the ink wash. And maybe I'll record that too. But for this video, I'm gonna call it a day. I thank you for listening to my rant. And I really don't mean it as bad as it may sound, because I do appreciate every one of you. And I also really understand where it's coming from. I do get the frustration. Just let us try not to take it out on artists amongst each other. Let's just try to support each other where we can. And so yeah, I thank you for watching, and I'll see you with the next video, in which I hopefully gonna make an ink wash out of this one. Bye!